Welcome to North 61. We're going to do some sight in today. I switched the scopes. This has now got the 4-power loophole on it. The 350 Rem Mag has the 1.75 to 6-power loophole. Why the switch? This has more elevation range, and I couldn't quite get it sighted in properly with the old scope, but it looks like bore sighting I can with this. And the 4-power scope, when it's instantly detachable, means I'll be able to go to open sights if I needed to do some really close work. So this is actually a pretty good combo. Also, the 4-power scope, fixed, less moving parts, probably a little bit more rugged. And there's 60 foot-pounds of energy with 500 grain bullets, going down to 55 with 400 grain bullets. So it's fairly rigorous, but not terrible. Start off with 500 grain bullets just to get myself warmed up. Woo! .350 gain spears. This time I've put more pressure on the neck. See if that improves the grouping at all. And these will be going about 2,500 feet per second with a fairly mild starting load. That's down to about 53 foot-pounds, which it's a noticeably milder. Actually fairly easy to shoot. And these 350 spears are designed to hold together at Winchester Magnum velocities. So this is an interesting load. Two touching and one a couple of inches low, so that's got some potential. But again, this is right about on with 500 grain bullets, and you'll see it's shooting 3-4 inches lower. I'll raise it up 4 and try the 400 grainers. I like that 400 grain bullet weight in the 458 because it's a better ballistic coefficient with the Spitzer bullets. And it's got a sectional density of 270, which is the same as 180 grain 30 caliber bullets or 250 grain 35 caliber bullets, which are kind of a sweet spot bullet. So let's give it a go. .400 grain Spitzers at about 20. These will be 2350. Okay, that's 2350 feet per second. The poor features of this firearm is with this particular scope mount, it must not be totally straight, because once again, this 4-power scope, even though it has a little more adjustment, I'm right at the top of the adjustment to get it shooting where it's supposed to be, which isn't ideal. .350 Rem Mag, now I'm going from 55 to 60 foot-pounds to about 35 foot-pounds of energy. So this will seem probably a lot lighter. So let's give her a go here. Theoretically, there is about 30%, 35% more recoil in the .458 Winchester, even when
you look at the difference of weights, a 10-pound rifle to a 7-pound rifle, between the 660 Remington 350 Rem mag and the 458 Winchester. The 458 Winchester, even with the heavier weight gun, is supposed to shoot about 30-40% more recoil. I can't tell that. In fact, because I kind of poo-pooed the 350 Rem mag, it's not going to kick that bad, I held it a little bit more loosely than usual. That scope damn near took me in the head. That hasn't happened to me since I was about 14. So that could have been a first blood on YouTube. Wouldn't have been good. So very, very similar trajectories. I am really enjoying this rifle. I'm going to try a accuracy node with those 400 grain Barnes and H322 2300 to 2400. I stick with this 3-power scope. I went with the low mounts, and for whatever reason, I think these mounts might be a little, I don't know if it makes any difference or not, but I got lots of elevation range now. So I'll sight this in and I'll take her bison hunting. Shoots just as easy as that 350. I can shoot it prone. It's really quite a nice shooting rifle. I'm really quite surprised and pleased with it. So there you go.
Interesting thing about this 458, so I can run bullets from a 250 grain all the way up to 500 grains. And there's a little bit of a difference of where they strike, but the interesting thing is the 500 grain bullets actually shoot higher. And as you go up in speed and lower the weight, they're actually hitting lower. That's the opposite of what a lot of my rifles do, but every rifle's kind of its own set of rules. So even this 4-power scope, when I get to the lightest bullets, I don't have quite enough adjustment to get it high enough. So I ended up testing with my collimator a bunch of scopes, and this 3-power old steel tube Weaver with the post and crosshair, it's actually a pretty good scope for this rifle. It's giving me lots of adjustment. So I'm switching over to it. I'll sight it in and away we go. This has actually turned into a pretty fun little gun. Is it an all-round gun? Well, 250 grain bullets, the monoflexes, I can get up to almost 3,000 feet per second. They run out of speed pretty quickly. The 400 grain bullets, I think, are my favorite. And those Barnes Spitzers, I can get to 2,400 feet per second, and they shoot 2-inch groups, good enough. The 400 flat nose shoot 1-inch groups. But they run out of speed really quickly. So with 400 grain bullets, 2,400 feet per second, this turns into a pretty decent gun right out to 275, maybe even 300 yards for Bison. And this 3-power scope will get me there. So I'm liking it. I'm really liking it.